Hello everyone! People are divided into two groups. The first adore their work, which is an important part of their life, and sometimes can be its meaning. The second, on the contrary, hate what they do, but they have to go to an unloved job since it's the only source of income. But imagine, it happens that both of them can stand their bosses. Statisticians who collected the necessary data found that a high percentage of respondents reported that they considered their boss eccentric, living in their own incomprehensible fantasies. Another part of the respondents admitted that they considered their boss abnormal, who likes to lower their employees, and only a small part rate their boss as a friendly and highly respected leader. They are ready to follow. Well, our story is not about an inhuman boss, but quite the opposite. A single mother named Dina raises her two children on her own. It so happened that she is going through all the difficulties of life alone, since she has no relatives and friends left. In the past, she had a father who was a support and helped in everything, but unfortunately, it so happened that recently he was gone and Dina was all alone. I hope everyone understands that it is very difficult to raise two young children, to drive and pick them up from kindergarten and school, to feed them, to buy clothes and shoes, and to do lessons with them. So the whole day passed. The most important thing is the need to provide for them, and for this you need to work. Dina might have been discouraged, but her favorite job gave her the feeling that there was hope. She worked at a coffee bean and tea leaf cafe, where she could forget about her difficulties and problems for a while. And communication with people helped her to live every next day, while the big plus was that her work brought income. And one day, Dina's life changed as if by magic. One day, an intern appeared in the cafe, who was supposed to be trained by more experienced employees. It was a middle-aged man named John Fuller. He was very difficult to learn and really tested their patience. He constantly broke something. Employees of the cafe did not want to engage with the new employee, so they ridiculed and rejected him, thereby making it clear that he was superfluous here. They thought that since he was just an intern in a cafe at that age, they didn't expect him to be persistent. Dina was the only person who decided to help the unfortunate man. She knew how to work to feed herself and her family because Dina was in the situation more than once. It seemed that John specifically tested his mentor in every possible way, but the woman was happy to teach and help him as her own person. Naturally, many employees strongly discouraged her from messing with such a loser and not wasting time on him. But Dina showed great perseverance and good nature because she knew the experience comes with time. Despite the fact that Dina highly valued and supported her student, John seemed to deliberately spoil everything. 2 weeks of John Fuller's internship flew by. Dina proved that she is an excellent employee who can train any novice, even the most difficult, and showed others an example what the cafe employee should be like. On the last day of the internship, before passing the exam, John and Dina finally relaxed over a cup of tea after a long day at work. The girl's shift was already over, but she deliberately stayed to repeat all the points again, so that John would not fail the exam. Gradually, they began to talk, and Dina told awkward John her difficult story. She gave birth to her second child and her husband immediately left her. She constantly lacks of money. At the moment, Dina is able to provide for her children, but what will happen next is unknown. Moreover, she has big health problems, and it requires huge investments. Dina also has a dream to finish college in order to get a high-paying job in the future. John, hearing the story, asked why she was not rushing home to her children, and the girl told him that she should help him. After all, he needed this job so much. This response made a strong impression on John. After saying goodbye to each other late in the evening, Dina went home, and she had no idea what would happen the next day. Dina came to work and saw John again, but to her surprise, he behaved strangely. John looked unusual and nothing fell out of his hands, but she was even more puzzled by the behavior of the manager and other employees of the cafe. Everyone was depressed, and in that moment, Dina found out the whole truth. John Fuller is not just a hopeless and awkward newcomer. He is a co-owner of this chain. In order to find out how things are really going and how his employees behave, John decided to change clothes and became a regular employee in the cafe. Dina was confused and scared after discovering the truth. She could not believe that this man was the president and co-owner of a huge American coffee chain. Founded in 1963 with more than 1,000 establishments in 31 countries. because only recently she had trained him so carefully and had tea with him yesterday. The surprises for Dina weren't over yet. Her story and her kind attitude touched John so much that he decided to help her. Fuller donated $20,000 for Dina's education and another $40,000 for her children's education. According to John, such a person and employee should have a great, decent life. It was also decided that Dina would be accepted to a senior position in this chain. Dina herself couldn't believe what was happening. She just wiped away her tears. John helped Dina regain what she had long lost: confidence in people who can be compassionate and help others in difficult times. Meanwhile, Fuller admitted that he also learned from this lesson. No matter what situation you're in, the main thing is who you remain in it. And a good example was Dina. She was a true professional and, most importantly, remained first and foremost a person. Because of such people who are ready to sacrifice themselves, all the best keeps in the world. Friends, remember that it is important to help those who need help. And this story is one of the best examples. Did you like the boss's idea? Write in the comments. Also, rate this video and share it with your friends. That's all. See you soon!